Hi guys, quickly wanted to let you know that I have a sale going on in my shop for 20% off everything. If you use this code right here, it goes on until the 22nd of November, and 3 of the paintings you will see in this video are available as prints on there, and I've also added new stickers and other things. The link to my shop is in the description below. Oh, and also this video is sponsored by Skillshare. That's it. So, if you watched my last video, you'll know that I embarked on a project to paint 5 paintings. If you'd like to see what the prep work for these pieces was and what my thumbnailing and sketching process looked like, then you can go watch my previous video first. But if you want to jump straight into watching me create the actual paintings, then keep watching and maybe go watch that other one after that. So I decided to start with this one. Frankly, I'll just go straight to the point and say, I hated it. I hated it. Just, oh my god, I hated it so much. I was so unhappy with it. It's difficult to explain how. It just looked all wrong, and painting it was like pulling teeth. It just didn't work, nothing flowed, liked none of it. I liked the pose, I liked the sketch, but completely botched the painting. So I didn't get very far until I realised that I probably was better off stopping there and moving on to something different, because otherwise I was just going to whip myself into a frustrated state that wouldn't lead anywhere good. Ultimately, I had to face the fact that it doesn't matter. Some paintings are going to work, some paintings are not going to work. Part of the process, you know? I needed to move on and keep trying to create things. Failure is only really failure if you don't try again. And so I decided ultimately that I would redesign the piece completely, rework the entire composition, the entire concept, everything, and then try it again. But first I needed to set it aside and try something fresh and new. So I picked another piece and started working on that. So it took me about 2 days, 2.5 days to finish this painting. To be honest, it was the concept in this 5 painting series that I was the least convinced I would enjoy painting, but I really like the result. I'm really happy with most of it. I didn't really think I would be, so that's a win. After my failed attempt at painting the first concept, I'm really happy that this one is a win. I feel a lot better and a lot more energized to keep going with the series. In the sketch that inspired this painting, the spider on the shoulder of the character was a black widow. However, in this final painting, I decided to go for a completely different spider. I didn't want the sort of ominous atmosphere that a black widow can create in a piece. I think we've kind of associated a pretty threatening aura with black widow spiders. The spider you see in this painting is a golden silk orb weaver spider. Orb weaver spiders are generally completely harmless to human beings. They are mostly well known and derive their name from the silk that they weave their webs with. People have tried creating garments and various other things with the orb weaver silk because it's so beautifully golden. They are an absolutely fascinating animal. They mostly predate on insects, but because they are so big, their webs are also quite big, and so they occasionally catch bigger things like small birds, which does tend to lend them a more ominous quality than what they actually are. I love that dichotomy in the orb weaver spider. They are so sharp and slender and pointy and and big. They're huge spiders. It's a fantastically complex animal that we have a complex relationship to. I really like that, and I think it has so many multiple layers of symbolism to it that I decided to include it in this piece, and I thought I'd talk about it with you a little bit because maybe you'd find that interesting. I'll leave it here for you and I'll let you enjoy the final painting. As much as I think I've gotten the expectations for this project way off, the amount of time I thought this was going to take me has proven to be completely off the mark. Absolutely not right at all. But the thing is, that's okay. I don't actually feel too bad about that, because this project is helping me face exactly what type of rhythm is realistic for me to set myself. I do tend to be a bit of an overachiever and overestimate how much I can do. This project is really helping me face uncomfortable truths about how fast I work and how much I can achieve. Which is good. It's a good thing. Improving yourself is most of the time uncomfortable, and I'm very uncomfortable. All this to say, this project is taking me longer than I was planning, longer than I thought it would. I fancied myself a faster worker than I have been, and that's okay. It's teaching me a lot about how I work and how I should work and how I can adjust things and how I can reevaluate my perception of myself. So that's all very, very good. I wouldn't say I'm happy because it's uncomfortable, but it will ultimately help me in the long run. Because this project really helped me highlight my shortcomings and bad habits in the way I structure my expectations in my workflow, I decided to seek out some ways to improve, and that's where Skillshare came in. I'm sure most of you are familiar with Skillshare by now. They are a pretty well-known online learning community by now. They offer thousands of courses on a huge variety of topics, with a big focus on creativity. Something I have personally been interested in lately is productivity and ways to enhance my workflow while also creating healthy working habits. I truly am very bad at working healthily. I've been watching a few courses on the topic. One of my favorites is Real Productivity: How to Build Habits That Last by Thomas Frank. One of my big problems is that I don't have a realistic idea of how much work I can do, so I always overshoot and pile on too much on myself. I don't give myself enough buffer if anything goes wrong, and things will always go wrong in some way or another, and that often leads to me falling behind and having to play catch up, which is a huge strain and source of stress. Thomas's course has helped me be more honest with myself and try to, as he says, anticipate pain points, as well as be more diligent with how I track my habits and goals and how I review and reflect on myself in order to improve and perfect things. If you'd like to spend some time exploring Skillshare for free and get a better idea of the learning opportunities it can offer you, make sure to check out the link in this video's description. Skillshare is offering the first 1,000 of you to use the link a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership, and then if you want to extend your membership after that, an annual premium membership is less than $10 a month and you get access to their entire catalogue of videos. So make sure to check out the link below. It's a really great way to get access to great content and help support this channel at the same time. So I think I'm finished with that second painting. I need to take all the tape off really gently, and then I'll show you the final result and move on to the other three. I feel like in the last two paintings my style is sort of slowly feeling like it's falling into place. I really like outlines. I think it's just one of those illustrative elements that I really love, really. I shied away from outlines for a while, but definitely want to start using them again.
Hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright.
As some of you may already know, the last three paintings that I'm going to try to do have gone through a lot of changes, and this one here is probably the one that's the most ready to start painting. I have a few tweaks to create to the final composition, but I should be ready to start painting today. So I'm going to sketch out the last few details I want to change straight onto my final paper, and then I'll jump into painting, hopefully. And then the rest of this week I'll probably work on the other two paintings, which basically need a complete remodeling. One of them hasn't even reached the point where I transferred the final sketch to the final paper, like this one has. And the last one was the first one I tried painting, and I absolutely hated the result. So it's gone back to the drawing board completely. I want to redo the sketches, re-explore the composition almost from scratch. So we'll see how that goes. But first, I'm going to start work on this one. This one is going to incur some changes, particularly because the initial concept I chose to recreate for this painting, I really like that initial idea, but the more I've started working on this composition, the more I've realized that I want to go a different direction. I want to explore a different type of concept. So instead of going for a body that extends into lots of branches or into a mushroom-like structure, I think I'm going to make the character look like a tree hit by lightning. It just resonates with the feeling I get for this piece more than the idea I had previously. So I'm going to sketch that out, hopefully ink it today, we'll see, and then start painting as soon as possible. So, I've been working on this piece for about 2 days now, and I think I'm nearing the final stages. And usually when I get to that point in a painting, I like to step back, usually sleep on it, come back to it the next morning. Taking a step back allows me some perspective and to take some distance from the piece that I've been looking at for 2 days straight. It prevents me from pushing it too far or from being too much of a perfectionist with it. It'll allow me to see what works and what doesn't much better than if it's just the only thing I've been looking at for a long time. Try and do something else, make my brain think about something else to come back to it with a fresh perspective. I've slept on it, but I still feel So I'm going to stop this video here. I'm really sorry. I promise I'm not trolling you guys, or I'm not purposefully dragging this out. So here's a perfect example of my glaring flaw I pointed out earlier in this video. Today is Thursday, is the day I need to upload this video because that's what I agreed with the sponsor of this video, Skillshare. I wanted to make sure I included as much of this last painting as possible in this video because I did say to you that I would show you the 5 paintings in this second installment, but I overestimated myself. One of the big problems is that I just spent the past 6 days, weekend included, everything, working on editing this video. I'm learning Premiere Pro and that's challenging. So I didn't expect the editing process to be quite so long, and I expected myself to have a couple more days to finish this painting at least, but that didn't happen. So my plan today, in order to include as much of this painting as I possibly could, was going to be to just cram it in, just spend as much of the day painting as possible, last minute edit on the video, and then upload it tonight. That's just a perfect example of what I'm doing wrong. I shouldn't do that. That's plain stupid, really. It doesn't give me any wiggle room if anything goes wrong. It's a plan that's based on everything going right, the painting process, the editing process, the uploading process. It relies on everything going smoothly, and that's rarely the case, especially if you are on a tight deadline, and especially if you are putting yourself under undue stress, which I would be doing if I was trying to cram a painting into today. So instead of being frantic and trying to fit more work into today than is realistic, I'm going to breathe, take a step back, stop the painting here, film this bit right here, edit the video, give myself enough hours that if anything goes wrong I don't have to panic, and then I'm gonna upload the video tonight, and then I'll show you the rest of the paintings in my next video. Me talking about all my shortcomings in this video really isn't me complaining. This is all self-inflicted. This is all stuff I've done to myself. I've only really been doing this job for about 3 years now, so there's a lot of growing pains. There's a lot of me learning how to manage myself, manage my expectations of myself, manage the workload I put on myself. So every year, and usually it comes towards the end of the year, there's a reckoning. I need to look back on how I've worked, and I need to reassess everything and redesign my work process so that it fits with how I've grown and how I've changed. So this project of painting 5 paintings has been really good at showing me what I need to change, what I was doing wrong, has forced me in a sort of painful way to accept that I need to change some things that may be scary, but if I want my career to be sustainable in the long term, I'm going to need to make some essential changes to how I work. This is not me whining, or this is not me asking for your sympathy. I think it's just important for me to show you those types of growing pains in videos because I want you to be able to learn from my mistakes. The reason I showcase to you all the moments where it goes wrong, or where I have doubts, or I fail, or when I bump into self-inflicted problems, is because that way maybe someone out there, one of you maybe out there, can see how I go by growing as an artist and can see what they can learn and maybe avoid, and maybe I can be a beneficial template to someone out there who's looking to do the same sort of job as I am. So none of what I said in this video was for sympathy. It was all genuinely to just show you the realities of what it is like for me to try and be a professional artist. By the way, I'm sitting on my floor against my heater because it's cold. My office is chilly and this is the warmest spot. Yeah, anyway, all that to say, I'm going to stop this painting here. I'm quite happy with how far I've gotten with it, and I'm actually excited to keep going with it because I like this concept and I hope it'll work out. I've painted a lot of hollow people in this series. It seems to be the thing I'm attracted to thematically at the moment, but maybe in the next few paintings I do, I'll explore something a bit different. I don't know, we'll see. I don't know, let's not overthink it. I'll see where I am at when I get to it. But hopefully that means another video in a couple weeks. In the meantime, you can follow me on Instagram or on TikTok. I have TikTok now, did you know? I'm really enjoying it. It's absolutely a time vacuum though. Anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about. But yeah, if you want to see the finished piece before the video goes up, then you can go on Instagram or on TikTok. At least this means that I am uploading reasonably often at the moment, as opposed to what the last 3 months have been like. But I'll see you in a couple weeks, and in the meantime, don't forget to check out the Skillshare link in the description, as well as go visit my shop if you're interested in having prints or stickers or anything like that while the sale is going on. It finishes on the 22nd of November. I'm gonna end this here. I hope you're all really well. I hope you're taking good care of yourselves. Let me know how you are in the comments. I always love to hear from you. Turn on notifications when you want to be notified when I upload my next video. And yeah, take care of yourselves, everyone. I'll see you soon. Bye.